Okay, hello everyone. Good morning. Dear authors and invited guests, welcome to technical session 5C. Myself, Harsh Soni, and I would be the moderator session. On behalf of Global Knowledge Research Foundation, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the ninth International Conference on Information and Communication Technology for Sustainable Development, ICT4SD 2024, Goa. The ninth edition of the conference is being organized in a hybrid mode. The physical event is organized today in Goa, and the virtual event is being held through Zoom today and tomorrow. That means 8th and 9th August 2024. I hope you will enjoy the knowledgeable and interactive sessions through the day. In this session, we have 10 presentations, and each presenter will be given 8 minutes for the presentation and 2 minutes for the question and answers. On 7 minutes, I will raise a gentle reminder so that you can conclude your presentation on time. There's another request for all the presenters that you may please stay connected with us till the closing remarks so we can capture the good memories of this virtual conference. And if you have any query or any update, you can directly write it to me in the chat box. So just before we get started, I'd like to introduce you all to the chair for the session, Dr. Kalpesh Popat. Dr. Kalpesh is working as an associate professor at Marwadi University, Rajkot, Gujarat. He has completed his doctorate from Gujarat Technological University in computer science field. He is having 20 plus years of teaching experience. He has published 30 plus research papers in international conferences and international journals. His areas of research includes mobile computing, IoT, AI and ML, and cybersecurity. I request you, sir, for your presentation, for your valuable presence over here. Sir, is there anything you want to say, some remarks to the authors?
Uh, Good afternoon, all of you. I'm Dr. Kalpesh Popat, working as an associate professor at Marwadi University. I welcome you all for the paper presentation during this ninth international conference on ICT for sustainable development. Harsh, you can start with the first presentation. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Okay, so now with the first presenter, we have Anand V, and he's going to presenting on a study on the perception and factors influencing the current utilization of technology-based audit techniques. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation, and I request all the presenters that you may please stick to the timeline as we have back-to-back sessions today.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, now you. Yes.
Good afternoon, all. Respected chair. So I'm going to present on the study on the perceptions and factors influencing current utilization of technology-based audit techniques. So moving on to the first slide. So the introduction is that. Uh, so this study is actually based on in India, focusing on the auditor's perception and factors influencing their use among the big four audit firms. So through the study, the aim was to achieve and find what the optimal balance between automation and human expertise, because TBAT alone cannot replace the entire audit workforce. So why this study? This study is important because the perception is and views are very crucial for developing new TBATs tailored to the Indian context, because always a single solution cannot, a global solution cannot fit to the Indian context. Therefore, this study was intended. And the regarding the problem identification, since the we found that there was a scant body of knowledge based on TBAT in India, we done, and this study will lay a good basement that could help future research to help individual auditors, audit firms, and policymakers navigate the constant changing field due to the AI, automation, machine learning, etc., that are rapidly developing. So, and the TBAT, even though enhances efficiency and effectiveness, the maintaining the integrity is a key point. So, and that too with the respect to India's unique regulatory framework with bodies like NCFRA controlling the audit associations. So, this was the key problem that was identified. And the method coming to the methodology, QD, the collected from the big four firms, chartered accountant, auditors, and the responses collected was coded and using the QDA minor software. So from these responses, it was coded, and the possible themes generated were generated, and the themes generated were linked with how the TBAT affects their views. And coming on to the result, so this was the word cloud that we could get. So, and we have taken the highlight, the larger or the magnified keywords into the themes, even though the minor ones are not important. It cannot be considered as not important. It is being can be used in the further future research, because these were the larger ones, magnified ones were the key important ones. So coming on to the themes, the individual themes include ethical concerns and risk management, regulatory challenge and compliance, optimistic outlook and balanced consideration, decision-making dynamics, cost-benefit analysis, impact on audit quality, and pre and post TBAT environment. So coming to the first theme of ethical concerns and risk management, even though the from the responses we could understand that the TBAT enhances risk management, reduces the risk management, but the key thing that the auditors worried were about the data privacy and misstatement that could arise, and the what are the client requirements. That's a key issue, because the stakeholders have a large say in their data being used while using the technology into it, because these data get stored into databases which are prone to at a security risks. So, and coming on to the next one is a regulatory challenge and compliance. Even though India has a strict com compliance framework being set compared to the foreign countries, but still the auditors felt that this was a challenge, because even though they wanted to use more into their audit work so as to reduce their tedious and manual repetition works, but following to the compliance is a key component. And coming to the third theme of optimistic outlook and balanced consideration, from the majority of the auditors felt that even though the TBAT can increase the efficiency and accuracy and help them complement their work, but they were also slightly uh, skeptical about the what all could be correct, because of the arisal of a bias and the trained ML that could be arise over the period of time. Uh, okay, then coming on to the fourth one, the decision-making dynamics. TBAT use considering the transaction nature, regulation risk, and client needs. Decision-making should involve cost and ethics, which is very important, because if the skeptical part is missed out, the whole audit is being a failure and could miss key points, including chances of a misreporting. And coming to the fifth one of the cost benefit analysis, uh, we could see that all the auditors felt that uh, the benefits outweigh the costs, but on the long term, all the costs must be considered, including the training cost, implementation, and the running costs arising, all the allied costs, including for the database setting up, etc. So the cost benefit analysis is very crucial for this. Um, and impact on audit quality, even though the auditors feel that uh, over the time they feel on the usage of different audit technologies. They feel that it improves equality, but over reliance can compromise the judgment due to the, as discussed earlier, the bias may occur within the technologies, and uh, there can also be the skeptic levels among the auditors can also decrease, because they think that the TBAT, the technology must have covered it. So, and coming to the last theme of the pre versus post TBAT environment, even though in the pre TBAT environment, we could see that there was a lot of manual methods, and post focus on the automation part where the efficiency is increased and cost effectiveness, because a lot of man hours can be saved, and the errors that occur also decrease. But there is also a difference among the views of the auditors, who feel that even though after post EBAT there can risks arise, and the more checking is required in the initial time, and over the period only it can be decreased. And coming on to the implication, the key the key the part that should be checked upon while before implementing a TBAT in the organization is that the resistance that is being in the system for setting up a new system should be considered, and the focus on high risk areas and material items must be also looked upon. And conducting a thorough cost benefit analysis is very necessary, because once after implementing a TBAT, there is no looking back. And if in case we are to remove the system, then there would be a large cost burden upon the organization. And regulatory support like NFRA's Audit Industry Sandbox. This is a new initiative that NFRA is planning to set up in the coming months, which will help the domestic firms also align with the Big Four and improve the audit quality and reaching a matching with their efficiency levels. And coming into the conclusion, we can say that from the entire study, the TBAT offers potential benefits like increased efficiency, but faces challenges like the possible challenges like the skeptic level, the bias, etc. Effective implementation requires addressing the limitations like the ones like the bias, and leveraging emerging technologies like ML, AI, and automation. Continued research is essential for optimizing the TBAT's role in the auditing landscape, because this does not stop over here. After like the initially we could say that in the 2000s when the computerization start, but we didn't stop over there. Now we are reached into AI automation, and we could foresee newer technologies coming up which could actually enhance the overall auditing landscape itself. So we must be on top of it, and further research can be done such that the auditing levels can be improved a lot more better. Yeah. Thank you. That's it
So
from
is there any question for presenter?
Anand, can you tell me how many papers have you referred for preparing this paper? Because you have not put up any references in
uh,
the presentation.
okay, I'm sorry for that.
No issues.
I have added about we have referred about 20 papers
Okay.
across like the and included articles from the Big Four firms. So
Okay.
we are included into only the paper. Sorry for the inconvenience.
No
We
problem.
didn't.
And can you tell me what is your thought about whatever you have in literature survey, whatever you have referred?
Okay.
What is the what I can say output from that literature survey?
It's a mixed output that we could finally get, because even though there are a lot of studies saying that the TBAT can improve, at the same time there are studies also pointing out the possible bias that could arise, because even the technology because in these papers also technologies are being updated day
Okay.
on day. So up to their time, there were limitations, but we could not confirm that the technologies are absolutely meaning a wrong thing to do. So that's it from my side.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Harsh sir, we can go for the second presentation.
Yes, sir. Okay, so now moving forward for the next presentation. Next we have Siddesh, and he's going to presenting on access control scheme for medical cyber physical systems using quantum cryptography. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Just 1 second. Yeah, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. So hello everyone. Good afternoon everyone. Today I'm going to be presenting a research paper topic that is access control scheme for medical cyber physical systems using quantum cryptography. So getting into the problem statement. So the sharing of resources can become a serious concern, especially when the data is highly valuable. That is the case in case of medical cyber physical systems, which usually deals with sensitive patient's information. Should I continue?
Okay.
Okay, continuing. So our paper proposes a model that ensures that the integrity of the data and is maintained and alerts the system if the data has been intercepted or eavesdropped by an external entity by using the quantum properties of a quantum key and presents the algorithm needed to implement such a system. So the introduction. So in today's world, as you see, most of the devices are based upon the internet, and these devices the data that they possess are protected by the traditional cryptographic methods. And the main fundamental concept behind these traditional cryptographic methods are they're based on a complex mathematical problem that is too complex for a classical computer to solve in a given amount of time. But with the emergence of quantum computing, these classical cryptographic schemes can be broken into the matter of seconds due to the computational power of quantum computers these days. So to address these security challenges, we have proposed an access control scheme leveraging the principles of quantum cryptography integrated with an elliptical curve cryptography. Our approach aims to ensure that the integrity of the data within the MCPS is ensured. And further, by combining an ECC-based encryption, we enhance the security of the framework by combining a sort of quantum and a classical cryptography method. So moving on to the research gap. So most of the research that has been done on the MCPS is still quite introductory, one can say. And the security schemes that have been proposed in the cyber physical systems are traditionally based upon the classical cryptographic systems. And as discussed earlier, these classical cryptographic schemes are quite vulnerable. Also, most of the research focuses on active attacks rather than passive attacks. So one might wonder what are active attacks. So suppose let's consider a third-party user trying to break into the system. So then an active attack is an attack when the system is aware that its data is being breached. That is called as an active attack. But in a passive attack, the system is not aware that its data is currently being breached. So a passive attack is much more dangerous and complicated to handle than active attacks. But with the inclusion of quantum cryptography, it can address the limitations of the current access control models by providing an integrity-focused approach. And also recently, there have been a lot of studies on ECDH, which is nothing but the elliptical curve Diffie-Hellman key exchange protocol. But very few combine the ECDH with the QKD mechanism, which adds to the security of the system. So moving on to the literature survey. So in the literature survey, let's first start by discussing about the MCPS. So an MCPS can basically be described as two main components of a set of physical components such as the medical devices, sensors, which will actually extract or record the patient's information, and a set of computer systems, the other part, which will actually keep a record of these patients' data, you can say, on a cloud-based storage. So this is like the basic framework of an MCPS or the basic architectural framework of an MCPS. Then next, the security, as we discussed earlier, was protected using the classical cryptographic techniques. And as we know, it can be of mainly two types, either a asymmetric technique or a symmetric technique. And as we know, the ECC based, there's the elliptical curve cryptography uses an asymmetric approach. It is something that we have incorporated in our research paper. Then in the next research paper, constraint and risk-aware approach to attribute-based access control, the author had described about the various types of access control that can be implemented in a cyber physical systems, such as giving access based upon certain attributes or given access based on certain roles. So a similar sort of idea can be incorporated in a research paper where we give access depending upon the severity of the patient's case. So suppose if the information is regarding the cardiovascular system, which can have a great impact on the patient's health, this can give given a higher priority. So in the next research paper, hacking medical devices for fun and insulin, they had made an interesting scenario where a malicious attacker tries to manipulate a patient's insulin dose and an infusion pump, which is connected through the MCPS. This can be proved to be quite a dangerous situation as it can lead to the patient's decline in health. But with the quantum encryption integrated into the access control system, the MCPS will be quickly able to detect any unauthorized access attempt by using the quantum error detection. As we know, the quantum computers are made of qubits, which are continuously changing their states. And it is because of this property, it will be able to provide security against eavesdropping, basically. So generally speaking, the current access control models do not inherently address the data integrity issues. For instance, they may not detect the data tampering or unauthorized changes during data transmission, leaving the data vulnerable. So moving on to the proposed work. So as we know, we'll be using an ECC-based approach. So first we'll have to decide the ECC parameters or an elliptical curve, the specification of the elliptical curve we can use. So there are some of the recognized ECC curves, such as the NISP P256, which is quite widely used and also quite secure and reliable that can be used. Then after establishing these parameters, then the quantum key distribution will actually generate the quantum key using the BB84 protocol. And since the quantum would be following all the quantum properties of changing the states, it will obviously provide protection against eavesdropping. Then once the quantum key has been generated, we have to use a KDF function. This KDF function will take the quantum key as the input and will derive an ECC encrypted key, which can be used for encryption and decryption process. Then after this ECC encrypted key has been derived from the KDF, we have to transfer it to the MCPS, which can be done using the Diffie-Hellman key exchange protocol. And after all of this is done, we can finally give access control based on the medical case severity as discussed earlier. So this is the formal stepwise algorithm that we have proposed. So first the user will actually request the data. Then once the quantum key distribution is employed, it will generate the quantum key using the BB84 protocol. After this quantum key has been...
But you have last 1 minute for the presentation.
Yeah, I'm just finishing up. Yeah. Okay. So after this, once this key has been generated, it will be passed on to the KDF. Then after this KDF will generate the derived ECC encrypted key. This will be passed on to the MCPS using the Diffie-Hellman key exchange algorithm, and then finally giving access based upon the constraints. So this is a sequence diagram of the entire process where, as I have mentioned earlier, requesting access, quantum key generation, derived ECC encryption key, passing the key to the MCPS, and then finally giving access based upon the following constraints. So conclusion. So in conclusion, the integration of quantum key distribution with the elliptical curve cryptography presents a robust framework for securing communications within the medical cyber physical systems. And by leveraging the quantum properties to establish and protect cryptographic keys, we enhance the security of the sensitive medical data. So the research lays the foundation for a secure and resilient healthcare information ecosystem. And some of the further research directions that can be taken further is firstly focusing on the scalability and the implementation part are some of the further research direction which can be taken. So these are some of the references, and that's it from my side. Thank you.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Siddesh, can you tell me, have you implemented this algorithm on the system, or still it is in the implementation
No, sir,
stage?
we haven't started on the implementation stage. We have just proposed a model. We have not started working on the implementation part.
Okay, fine. And can you go to the in between where you have mentioned some references of the in a table, I think.
So the
One table
references
was
of
there. Yeah, yeah,
okay,
in the
okay.
second slide. Yeah, second slide of the table.
Okay,
So only one suggestion from my side. Here you have refer the paper of 2011, which is quite
okay,
old.
yeah.
So
Yes,
it
sir.
is my request that you go for a new paper so that your research should have some value. That is the only
Okay,
thing I want to tell right now.
okay,
Otherwise, good
okay,
presentation. Thank you.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Harsh
Thank
sir,
you
we
so
can
much.
go for the next presentation, please.
Yes. So moving forward for the next presentation. Next we have Sachi Joshi, and she is going to present on automated breast cancer detection using convolutional neural networks. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Hello, hello,
Yes,
hello. Am I audible?
yes, you can.
Okay. Myself, Sachi Joshi, and today I'm going to present on automated breast cancer detection using convolution neural networks. And my paper ID is 297. These are the outlines for my presentation. Introduction. Machine learning is a subdomain of artificial intelligence. Machine learning enables a machine to automatically learn from a data, improve performance from experiences, and predict things without being explicitly programmed. Same as deep learning is also sub part of the machine learning, and deep learning is the branch of the machine learning that is based on the artificial neural networks. And an artificial neural network, or ANN, we can say that it is a layers of interconnected nodes, and we can call it a neurons that works together to process and learn from the input data. This is the difference between a machine learning and deep learning. In the machine learning, we can give the input as a input to the machine, and there are different algorithm used for the feature extraction as well as for the classification, and then after it will give the result. uh, Instead of in deep learning, if we are giving input to the deep learning model, the feature extraction and classification and all the other algorithms are combined in the one frame, and then it will give the output. These are the factors that affecting the deep learning and machine learning, and how they can different it will show in it is showing in this image, like how data requirement is different in the deep learning and machine learning, same as the accuracy, training time, hardware dependency, and hyper parameter tuning. Now, the objective behind to start research in this field using a convolution neural network using a deep learning is that the first objective is it is an automated feature extraction, like it is an implemented advanced convolution neural network that automatically extract the relevant features from the breast cancer images, reducing the need for the manual feature engineering that is in the machine learning. Now it is a multi-class classification using the extend the capability of the model to classify different types of breast lesion, either of not only benign and malignant, but also the identify the subtypes of the breast cancer. It is also the improved generalization and integration with the clinical flow work, but the basic and main objective to start this research is the automated feature extraction and multi-class classification. uh, these are the literature review. I kept only 10 papers in the presentation, but I surveyed more than 35 to 40 papers for this. The first paper, they use RSNA data set and MISN and DDM different in. I show the papers which state the different data set as well as which methods they are using, and that data set contain which kind of images. It shows in this table. The first paper states that a novel feature extraction and reduction approach for the breast cancer detection in the mammography images, and it performs on the various data sets, and the NN based classifier uh, outperform than other approaches. The second paper said that It describes the 5 new deep hybrid convolution neural network based framework for the detection of the breast cancer, and they suggested hybrid 5, and that is outperforms among the all the models. The third paper, which states that the computational framework that uses a deep convolution neural network to diagnose breast cancer from a mammography images, and it is emphasizes that deep convolution neural network algorithms are useful tools to optimize the result. Fourth paper, fourth paper suggests that using a particle swarm algorithm and a genetic algorithm and using a hyperparameters, we can achieve the good results. In the fifth paper, it addressed that the significance of early detection and customized treatment for the breast cancer. They start the process through pre-processing and extracting the statistical features and using the MATLAB, and they implement the particle swarm optimization using a multi-layer perceptron. In this paper, they shows that variety of machine learning and deep learning techniques, including KNN, SVM, CNN, linear discriminant analysis, and PSO, to increase the accuracy and to increase accuracy and performance, and by using a various feature extraction techniques. In this paper, they use a different data set for different cancers, not only for the breast cancer, but some another cancer also. And as a first step, it is import the described libraries, and then pre-processing was performed. And after pre-processing, the next step is to split the data into the various training and testing rations, and then the proposed feature extractor has been applied to the data. Same as for the other papers. Now, convolution neural network. CNN is known for having a convolution layers in its architecture. Now, this figure shows the basic architecture of the CNN. CNN training is a multi-layer iterative process. Convolution, fully connected, and pooling layers are three important layers used in the CNN architecture design. This is the basic architecture of the CNN, as well as I use this as my research work. I take a input image size as a 50 cross 50, and then after use 4 convolution layers, and then after it goes to the fully connected layer, and then in the softmax layer I received the result, either it's a normal or cancerous, and if it is a cancerous, it is again divided into the 45 sub part of the cancer. This is the proposed approach diagram. Initially, we have a raw image data set, and after we perform the pre-processing and then data visualization and then sequential model. In the sequential model, we are using a basic CNN models. Then after convolution and pooling layers are applied, then flatter, then dense layer, then dropout, then again dense layer. We are using a dense layer here again, because in the dropout layer, either the model is overfit or underfit. We don't know. Based on that, we again perform the dense layer. Then after the binary classification, in the binary classification, we receive the result in the either it's a benign or malignant. Then after we go to the softmax layer. In the softmax layer, if it is a non-cancerous, then it gives the result. But if it is a cancerous, then it gives the type of the cancer. Like we divide the 46 type of cancer, then which type of cancer it gives the result. We use 3 data set for the implementation: CBIS DDSM breast cancer image data set, the breast histopathology image dataset, and the complete mini DDSM dataset. The CBIS DDSM dataset and the breast histopathology image dataset we are used for the train and test the model, and the complete mini DDSM dataset we use for the validation of the model. These are the result we achieved after applying the CNN model. We achieved the training accuracy 85.95 and testing accuracy 86.02 and specificity 91.73 as well as sensitivity 71.54. After applying this model, we conclude that CNN-based breast cancer detection model that uses a mass abnormalities in the mammograms to identify benign and malignant condition, as seen in the figure, which is a basic CNN architecture for feature extraction had been developed, and the mammography and histopathology image were used to train and access the model. And we received the 86.002% detection accuracy, as well as 71.54% sensitivity and 91.73% specificity. The future scope of this model is that deep learning techniques outperforms machine learning across all the evaluation parameters. To improve classification performance, we have explored combining multiple models with CNN. Like we can apply LSTM with CNN and RNN with CNN. So CNN is a basic for all this, and the model's performance can be improved by expanding the amount of annotated mammography in histopathology dataset. In other case, we can also say that if we can receive the real-time data from the hospitals, it gives a better result, or we can identify what result we have received. These are the reference which I used for the paper and implementation. Thank you.
Sachi madam, can you tell me how much data you have used for in a data set for training as well as the actual implementation purpose?
Sorry, sir.
In your data set, how many data are available for training purpose? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So in your training data set, how many data records are there? You have said some on slide number 22.
Yes, sir.
Some data set you have used for training and some data
Yes, sir.
set. So how many data records are there?
Sir, I used CBIS DDSM dataset and histopathology image dataset. Both are used for training as well as testing.
That is right. In that data set, how many records are there? And from where you have collected this data set?
Sir, I took this dataset from the Kaggle.
Okay, and how many records are there? Okay, fine. Can you tell me, show me that table where you have put up your result analysis?
Yes, sir. Sure. Sir, is it visible?
Yeah. So, okay, training accuracy is 85.95, testing accuracy is
Yes, sir.
86.2, and specificity is 91.73. Now, can you go to the conclusion part? Your
Yes,
conclusion
sir.
part.
Yes, sir.
Please.
Sir, I earned 50 posts for this.
No, I'm just want to see the conclusion part. Please change the slide. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Please go to the slide of conclusion.
Sir, your voice is not audible.
Hello?
Ma'am,
Now
kindly
is
go to the conclusion side.
conclusion slide, please.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So here you have shown 71.54 sensitivity. Okay, fine. Good. Thank you, madam. First, we can move to the next presentation.
Yes, sir. Next, we have Ganga S. Nair, and she is going to present on green entrepreneurships and sustainable development in South India, linking to SDG 9. The presenter, are you here?
Hi, sir. I am here.
Yes, please start
Am I
your
audible,
presentation.
sir?
Yes, ma'am, you are.
Okay. Okay, is the screen is visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. Hi, my name is Ganga S. Nair. I'm from Amrita Vishwavidyapitham, Amritapuri campus. And the title of my paper is Green Entrepreneurship and Sustainable Development in South India, linking to SDG number 9. So these are the overview of the study. Firstly, moving to the introduction of the study. We know that we humans made large progresses, that is large building, industries, vehicles, etc. But we cannot made a development which is sustainable and long term, because these progresses will create environmental degradation and
Hello?
social problems.
Madam?
So,
Ma'am, your slides are not moving actually. We are on the
1
title
minute.
slide only, I suppose.
Okay, 1 minute. May I check? Are you able to see now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, but I cannot do. Okay, is it moving now?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Okay, sir. So the title of my paper is Green Entrepreneurship and Sustainable Development in South India, linking to SDG 9. And this is the overview of the paper and this presentation. Moving to the introduction of the study. As we know, we humans made large progresses, that is large building, industries, vehicles, etc. But we cannot made a development which is sustainable and long term. So these progresses will make environmental degradation and social problems, etc. Green entrepreneurship play an important role in solving these environmental problems. And this study explores the impact of green entrepreneurship that supports in achieving the 9th goal of sustainable development in South India. So what is SDG number 9? Okay, SDG is set of goals that is adopted by United Nations, and SDG 9 is about industry, innovation, and infrastructure. As I said earlier, there are so many challenges that we face. Infrastructure and industrialization often cause environmental degradation. But for this challenge, there is a solution, and that solution is SDG 9. That is, build resilient infrastructure, promote sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Okay. So moving to the objectives, explore the impact of green entrepreneurship in South India, identify the existence of green entrepreneurship support in achieving the SDG 9, identify the factors inhibiting green entrepreneurship. I'm moving to the problem statement. As I said earlier, we made so many progresses, but it is not a development which is sustainable. From our current situation, we know that what are the challenges we are facing, and climate change, warming planet, etc. And the major challenge for sustainability is that even though people is not concerned about it, and there is less number of green entrepreneurs in the country, and lack of green entrepreneurship that promotes sustainable development. So here raises the questions like, why in South India entrepreneurs are very low, and what are the factors affecting sustainable development goal 9, and how much green entrepreneurship help in achieving the goal of sustainable development goals. Okay, so moving to the methodology, the area of the study is the research is conducted exclusively in areas of South India like Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu, and the data, primary and secondary data are collected. Primary sources is from survey, and the secondary data are from articles, website, books, etc. And the population is 170 respondents. And the result of the study is analyzed through SPSS, and the tools used as percentage analysis, correlation, descriptive statistics. Okay. So moving to the finding of the study, these are the answers for the research question. Okay. Public understanding on green entrepreneurship. The respondent says that there is no enough understanding on green entrepreneurship. And in South India, more and more people are willing to purchase green product because of its eco-friendly characteristics. And interestingly, the state government had banned the manufacture, sale, storage, and transportation of the use of plastic. So more and more people are willing to purchase green product. And industries that practice green entrepreneurship is tourism industry. And the familiarity with the training programs, most of the people is not familiar with the training programs. And the obstacles that the obstacles that the Indian green entrepreneurs face is expenses for marketing the product. Role of the Indian government for supporting green business entrepreneurs is to promote green entrepreneurship. People believe that Indian government play an important role in promoting green entrepreneurship. Next, sources of awareness on green entrepreneurship. It's mainly from current trends, and current green initiatives mainly is green energy, innovative ideas inspiring people in South India is sharing solar power and building decentralized microgrids for electricity. Industry in South India, where green entrepreneurship is slow, is automobile industry as compared to other. Awareness about SDG 9. Most of the people is not aware of SDG 9. And the last one is perception, that if more and more people is aware about green entrepreneurship, there will be a high level of impact on sustainable development. Okay. So moving to the research implication, green energy, green product, and tourism industry are key players in achieving this goal. When talk about green energy, renewable energy projects like solar, wind, and hydropower requires sustainable infrastructure, and this contribute directly to building a resilient infrastructure. And then moving to the green product, eco-friendly product materials, sustainable fashion, organic food, etc., stimulate industrial growth and job creation. And for that, there is need of advanced technology, which will create the innovation. And when talk about tourism industry, tourism infrastructure, including hotels, transportation, many innovative ways to attract visitors, while it will minimize the environmental impact. By working together, green energy, green product, tourism industry can significantly contribute to achieving SDG 9 and building a more sustainable future. Okay. There are some limitations from the finding is that most of the people in South India has less aware about training programs, and there is lack of government regulations and also high marketing expenses. So if we focusing on that, it will help to achieve sustainable development goals. For example, if we put so many training programs, give awareness to the people, more and more people will come forward to do green businesses. And if the government gives support to the people or the entrepreneurs, example, policy inventions, tax benefits, or research and development incentives, etc., will create people to come forward to do businesses. And if we focusing on marketing expenses, we can use digital platform like online marketplace, e-commerce platform, etc., as a good channel for reducing these expenses, etc. So there is a direct impact to achieving SDG 9. Okay. So I'm moving to the conclusion. So this study explores the connection between SDG and green entrepreneurship. The survey's finding demonstrate that the majority of people in South India do not own their own businesses and not aware of SDG 9. Today's society insists on the role of Indian government in supporting green entrepreneurship by educating the consumers about the value of green product. There is definitely a good probability that green entrepreneurship will have an impact on the SDG. These are some reference. So this is all about my presentation. Thank you.
Ganga madam, can I ask you one thing, that why you are selected for the South India region only? Or have you compared the data with other regions?
Sir, I choose South India because when I done literature review, I saw so many research which is related to the north side, but I didn't see anyone related to South India, and that's why the main reason I choose South India for my study.
And have you compared your study with the North Indian papers
Yes,
or
sir.
anything?
When we talk about the north side states, we can see the difference. The main difference we can say that when we compare Kerala, it's a South Indian state. For a person, it is very difficult to start a business in Kerala because there is less support from the government. But as we compare with the north state, it's it is more supportive. So that's the comparison that I made, sir.
Okay, fine, ma'am. Harsh sir, we can go for the next presentation.
Okay. So next we have Vijeta, and she's going to presenting on convolutional speech verification, detecting synthetic speech using deep learning. I'm going to share the screen on behalf of her. Yeah, you may please start your presentation.
Okay. Good noon, everyone. So I would like to start it with a quote saying, "A wise man speaks because he has something to say. A fool speaks because he has to say something." Can you go to the next slide, sir?
Yes.
Okay, with this quote, I would like to begin with the introduction, saying that speech is a primary mode of communication and a vital aspect of human interaction. So there are in speaker classification, we have two categories, that is bona fide and spoof. Bona fide that depicts the real person speaking, and spoof is someone imitating it, or the one which is moderated with the help of real speech. So that is why we need to address the most prevalent problem, which is the generation of fake speech using various modes of imitation, deep voice cloning technology. With this, I would also like to state the objective of our problem, that is to provide cutting edge tools and algorithms that can recognize and calm the spread of artificial intelligence generated, altered, and synthetic audio content. So the basic framework will be the from the image you can see that the audio input will be the audio and a frame, there is a system which will give you a deep fake audio detection system. From that we can classify the speaker as real or fake. Can you move to the next slide? So this is the literature survey. We have done the literature survey on about 11 to 15 papers. In that, there were, from the conclusion of the literature survey, we can summarize that most of the papers were using traditional methods like SVM, GMM, etc. And there were few papers which were also using neural network algorithms and machine learning techniques to detect the fake speech. Can you move to the next slide, sir? So this is the overall framework where it goes like this. First, we'll be giving the audio input. Then this audio goes through then the second step is the pre-processing procedure, which is nothing more than production of MEL spectrograms from the retrieved audio samples. For this, a Python tool for audio analysis, the Librosa library, is utilized to aid this. The MEL spectrogram is a graphical depiction of the frequency spectrum in an audio stream. They're frequently used as input features to train machine learning models, particularly in tasks such as audio classification, where the spectrogram patterns aid in discriminating between distinct sound. Further, we have used like the whole data is split into training and testing, where the 80% of data set is used for the training purpose and 20% of the data set is used for the testing purpose, which is then provided to a CNN model, which has convolutional pooling, flattening, dense, and dropout various layers in this architecture. Then we'll be arriving with the trained model. From that, we are going to evaluate the results. Similarly, this procedure is followed for the test input also. So can you go with the next slide? So coming to the data set, we have used ASP Spoof 2019 for the implementation, which has two categories, that is physical access and logistic access, to make up this whole system. And this is divided into three parts. They are like training, development, and evaluation, where each has speakers and number of utterances by each speaker. The speakers are again classified into male and female, and utterances based on the gender, they are giving us bona fide and spoof. So next slide. So coming to the model architecture, it is designed to extract features from MEL spectrogram and also make predictions for deep fake classification. So we have the convolutional layer, which extracts the local features from MEL spectrogram using convolutional filters. Then we have max pooling layer, which performs down sampling to reduce spatial dimensions. Then we have a layer called batch normalization, which normalizes the activations to stabilize training. Then we have ReLU activation. This introduces non-linearity to the model. Then a dropout layer prevents overfitting by deactivating neurons randomly during the training process. Then we have the global average pooling layer, which aggregates feature maps for global information. Lastly, we have the dense layer, which performs classification with a sigmoid activation function. So next. So here are the results where it depicts the accuracy based on epochs. So we have trained and tested for 100 epochs, and the accuracy for training and testing goes as follows of our model. The training accuracy is 97.9% and the testing is 98.7%. And we have also compared it with the other models, like how our model gets better with the testing aspect, since the LSTM models have 85% for the testing part, and our model is performing way better than the LSTM models. So this is one advantage of our model. So the next. So the final discussion after all this is that we are going to initially we are going to transform the raw audio data into the visual representation. Then in the model training phase, we get the error and accuracy plots. Then it is also evaluated through metrics like accuracy for both training and the testing phase. The accuracy and error graph will provide a visual representation for the classification. Then finally, the comparison lets us know how our model is better than the LSTM model. So next. So the future scope of a model is that the limitation of a project is that it works for the audio which is noiseless. If noise is added, then the accuracy may vary and the model may not be able to differentiate between real and fake audio with that much accuracy as it is doing now. And to make this model work for audio which is having noise and provide better accuracy to differentiate this between real and fake audio is the only future scope of our project. Next. So these are the references we have used for completing our project. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Am I audible, Vichita madam?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you tell me how you have collected this data set, or from which source you have taken up this data set for training and testing purpose?
It's available online, sir, like ASV 2019. You can type it and you can get the whole large. It is of 10 GB, I guess.
Okay.
So you can get the entire data set from Google itself. You can just type ASV 2019 data set.
Okay, fine, good. And how many records you have taken up for the training and testing purpose?
How many?
Records in the data set you have taken up.
So the entire data set is already split into 3 different folders, and in that the 80% of the number of audio we have taken it for training, and the 20% of total number of audios we have taken for testing.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Harsh sir, we can move to the next presentation, please.
Yes, sir. So next we have Sri, and she's going to be presenting on enhancing emotion classification through CNN models for speech analysis. Just a second. I'll share the screen on behalf of her.
Everyone.
I hope the screen is visible for everyone.
Hello.
Sri, you may please start your presentation.
Yes, sir, screen is visible.
Myself from you, and our paper is on enhancing emotion classification through CNN models for speech analysis. Can you go to the next slide? Hello, can you go to the next slide? Yeah, and basically nowadays, whatever is gonna happening, all depends on the human communication, and we can see everything is becoming online. So and identifying the speech of other people is becoming hard to find what are the speech and how like emotions are being able to convert them, and what are the emotions that they are like using when they are talking. It is very bit difficult, and the one human computer interactions have been increasing today. So in these projects are so we have used deep neural techniques to do them. Use the thing. Our motivation is that basically take example of health sector, the people that are facing can't say what are their emotions, like whether sad, happy, emotions, emotions. And by
Sharing, so your voice is not audible clearly. Hello? Sri, am I audible? Sri, am I audible to you? I think so she left the meeting. So, we'll move forward for the next presentation till then.
Please, sir. Hello, Harsh sir.
Yes, sir.
We can go for the next one, if
Yes,
possible,
yes,
please.
yes. I'm doing this. Yes, so next we have Preetham, and he's going to presenting on innovative approaches to mental health, chatbot engagement, and NLP for detection and support.
Hello.
Preetham, are you here?
Yes. Hello.
Yes, you may please start your presentation.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Is my screen visible? Hello. Hello.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay.
You
Okay.
can start the presentation.
Yes. So good afternoon, everyone. So thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity. My name is Pritam, and I'm fourth year student at KLE Technological University. Our paper title is Innovation Approaches to Mental Health, Chatbot Engagement, and NLP for Detection and Support. So let's begin. So we all know that how important mental health is. It is crucial for overall well-being, influencing how we think, feel, behave. It is as important as physical health because it affects every aspect of our lives. But mental health issues often do not receive the attention they deserve, which eventually lead to a significant consequences for individuals as well as the society. Let's go to the stats. According to stats, around 150 million people require mental health services in India, but only less than 30 million of them are receiving a particular treatment. So we try to contribute to this issue. We came up with a solution. So our solution is that we have built a machine learning model, which uses machine learning techniques like sentiment analysis, which analyze people's emotions, attitudes, their thoughts, which are basically encrypted in a text format. We try to compare many other existing technologies. We came up with the best performing solution. So this is the overview of our the system what we have built. So this works under the topic of natural language processing, NLP. It is a subfield of AI which helps computers to understand and interpret human language. Using this technology, we have created an ML model that could predict the mental health status of an individual through his texts. We have integrated our model with a built-in chatbot which interacts with the user. Basically, what it does is it frames the question based on the user responses. And his responses are stored to a file. It might be an Excel file, which is further fed to the ML model. This ML model is going to classify text into subclasses like the suicide, depression, and other few other negative thoughts. And then finally, it gives a particular report to the user. Let's now coming to the literature survey. Me and my team have came across a few 20 research papers that have already been established or been executed. So few of them I have listed here, and other are in the references. So first is a research done by Cheng and Hang. Basically, what they have done is they use the CCN and the SVN as their classifier. Then they have used word to vec. So word to vec is a technique of NLP where it maps the word to its particular meanings. So all those meanings are listed in a particular dictionary. So the word which we give to the model, it relates it to its particular meaning. Basically, this is a outdated technology. Then they have achieved a high accuracy in emotion classification by using this classifier and word to vec technology. Then next is a study of Ranjana's, where they have used submatrix wise vector embedding learner. It is also similar like word to vec, but it is quite advanced. So they have used lexical and semantic analysis for tokenization and word frequency analysis. They have used over 50 epochs, achieving a high accuracy of 94. 94% accuracy is a very high accuracy. Then the next paper is sequential neural network with LSTM. So these people have used LSTM model as their classifier, and they have used Vedder technique. So Vedder technique is also optimistic and highly advanced, what we can say a vector embedded technique, which classifies or relates the word to its similar meaning. Then they have used tokenization, lemmatization, then removal of stop words and normalization. Next, we have bi-LSTM model. Even these people have implemented bi-LSTM model, achieving a high accuracy of 90.46%. Then next, we have Lu and Chen, who have used term frequency, inverse document frequency. It's a mapping technique similar to previously what I said, word to vec. And they have used AFINN. It's a classifier which basically helps to get the actual meaning of the text. Then there are a few other research papers, or we can say the review papers, who have used their data set as social media posts and electronic health records. Next, coming to our system or our project, this is the basic architecture or the floor plan. So we have divided our project into few categories. First is the data collection, then data pre-processing, model selection and training, model evaluation, integration and deployment, and its applications. So this is the architecture you can see. First, we give another thing is we have two data sets. We give first the first data set, we tokenize it, and we give it to our first classifier. Then it classifies the text into positive and negative. Then further, we discard the positive data set, we keep the negative data set, and we fed it to the next classifier. With that, we have another data set. Both of these are combined and fed to the final classifier, that is the bi-LSTM model, which finally gives the result. Then coming to the collection of data set. As I said, we have used two data sets. One is the data set we collected from the Twitter, Reddit, and other Facebook, Instagram tweets, posts, or comments. We collected those data sets and we classified it as 0 and 1, which eventually means negative and positive. Then we have the second data set. We took it from the Kaggle, which has categories of stress, depression, and suicide labeled as 0, 1, and 2. Then we have some data pre-processing techniques. Like there are some text which or some characters which are not necessary for our evaluation. So that are eliminating handles, removing hashtags, then removing short words like off, is, the. Then we stem it, we tokenize it. Tokenize meaning we break a particular sentence into particular word. Then lemmatization meaning we map it to its relative meaning. Then similarly, word to vec, we have another technique called bag of words. We have implemented this in our project, which helps us to identify the particular meaning of a word. Then we have classification algorithms. In our project, we have tried to implement 4 classifiers. One is logistic regression, naive Bayes, support vector machines, and bidirectional long-short memory, which is by LSTM. So we train and test these models based on the accuracy. We chose 2 among them. So our performance matrices are accuracy, precision, recall, and F1 score. The one which gives the highest score is been selected. So we have logistic regression. So it is used for binary classification between 0 and 1. Here we use basically 2 formulas. One is the sigmoid function and the linear function. Both of these combined help us to give the particular independent variable, or they map it to 0 and 1. Next, we have naive Bayes, which basically works on the Bayes theorem. Then we have SVM. SVM is nothing but it divides the data into n different planes. If we have consider if we have 2 planes, that is positive and negative, then we have a single hyperplane which divides it into 2 classes. One is positive and negative. Then we have the bi-LSTM. Bi-LSTM is concatenation of 2 LSTM layers where input is given in forward direction as well as in the backward direction. So these are our results. Here you can see the F1 score, precision, recall, and accuracy.
We have last 1 minute for the presentation.
Okay. You can see the results. Logistic regression has an accuracy of 0.6. Then we have high accuracy of naive Bayes and bi-LSTM. So these are the results you can see. Naive Bayes 93, bi-LSTM 93. As a result, we made a hybrid module of bi-LSTM and naive Bayes. Later, we have introduced the chatbot. So this chatbot is basically made from HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, where we have implemented bag of words and other techniques to get the data. And based on the user's response, the chatbot is going to ask him questions based on his mood and other things. Where this file is been, where the data has been collected into a file, and further it is fed to the machine learning model. So coming to the conclusion, so we aim to enhance mental health assessment through the real text. Then by analyzing user input in real time, the chatbot can potentially detect signs of mental health issues. So we aim to take this project to a very high extent where optimization and easy to use would be our main goal. So that's all. These are the references. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
is there any question for presenter?
No questions. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So moving forward for the next presentation. Next we have Shreya Kamath, and she's going to be presenting on the random forest that found the fibroids, machine learning algorithms for tutoring for fibroid detection. The presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rudrani Savarkar from Thadumulchani Engineering College. My co-authors are Shreya Kamath and Dr. Kumkum Saxena. And along with my co-author Shreya Kamath, we are going to present our paper, The Random Forest That Found the Fibroids, Machine Learning Algorithms for Uterine Fibroid Detection. Uterine fibroids are common non-cancerous tumors affecting women of childbearing age, often leading to infertility, miscarriage, and pregnancy complications. By age 50, 70 to 80% of women develop fibroids, but most go undiagnosed until symptoms appear. Conventional diagnostic techniques like ultrasounds and MRIs are primary methods for detecting fibroids, but their accuracy can be limited by personal assessment and direct inspection. Machine learning methods, including Gaussian mixture models, Gaussian mixture model with stacking using random forest and linear regression, support vector machines, VGG16 and random forests, have shown promise in improving the identification and categorization of uterine fibroids from medical images. Our study objective was to assess the accuracy of various machine learning models in detecting fibroids from ultrasound images. Compare recall, precision, F1 score, and inference time of these ML algorithms to identify their strengths and weaknesses. Investigate the efficiency and scalability of each ML approach for potential clinical deployment. The study aims to validate these ML techniques by analyzing performance matrix, showcasing significant progress and enhancing uterine fibroid diagnosis. Here we provide an overview of significant studies related to uterine fibroid detection using various machine learning and deep learning techniques. Starting with the first paper, they discussed the rapid progress of AI, particularly CNNs, and their role in automating disease detection and characterization. In the second paper, they implemented the VGG16 model on the TCGA UCEC dataset, achieving a high accuracy of 98.5%. Third paper used SVM, logistic regression, and k-nearest neighbors, achieving 93.1% accuracy with the SVM classifier. Fourth paper used a DCNN approach to improve junior ultrasonographers' accuracy, significantly outperforming their previous accuracy with 94.72%. Finally, the last paper highlighted the importance of data mining and ensemble methods like random forest in predicting uterine fibroids, emphasizing its effectiveness in healthcare data mining. While these studies provide significant insights into various machine learning and deep learning approaches, there is a notable gap in the literature. No existing study has undertaken a comparative analysis of SVM PGG16, random forest, Gaussian mixture model, and Gaussian mixture model with stacking in terms of their performance matrix, computational complexity, and practical clinical scenario prospects for uterine fibroid detection. Our research aims to fill this gap by evaluating these 5 algorithms comprehensively. This will enable us to make informed judgments about their advantages and drawbacks and recommend methods to enhance the accuracy and scalability of existing algorithms.
Next, we would like to talk about the proposed system, that is the methodology and system used by us for our research. So firstly, about the data preparation, the dataset that we used is an open source dataset that we got from Mendeley. It consists of 2000 images with 1100 images showing no fibroids, that is they belong to the NUF class, and 900 images showing fibroids, so they belong to the UF class. After this, we split this dataset into 20% for testing and 80% for training. So the test set included 400 images equally distributed between the UF and NUF classes. And the training set has 1600 images with 700 UF images and 900 NUF images. So after dividing the dataset, we pre-processed the images using Python libraries like OpenCV, Pandas, NumPy, and we flattened and resized these images to prepare them for our analysis. Also, 2 of the points that were raised to us during our paper review was regarding the privacy concern of the dataset. So we used a publicly available open source dataset from Mendeley, which adheres to the ethical and privacy standards. And about the quality and representativeness of the dataset, we ensured this by properly balancing the UF and NUF classes in the training and test sets in a proper appropriate ratio, and we pre-processed the dataset to maintain the quality accordingly. The next thing that we used is the ensembling technique. So ensembling is a technique in machine learning that combines multiple models to improve the overall predictive accuracy by using the individual strengths of each model and mitigating the weaknesses of individual models. So in our research, we employed ensembling using stacking by integrating the Gaussian mixture model with random forest as the base model and logistic regression as the meta learner to create a unified prediction. So while ensembling did improve GMM's performance, the random forest model still emerged as the best performing model for uterine fibroid detection, which we'll discuss in detail on the next slide. So talking about the results and conclusion of our study, so we evaluated the 5 ML algorithms SVM, VGG16, random forest, GMM, and GMM with stacking on 5 performance metrics. These were accuracy, recall, precision, F1 score, and inference time. So random forest and GMM with stacking emerged as the best performing models. Random forest achieved the highest accuracy of 0.99, and since it has a very low inference time as well of 0.032 seconds, it was the most efficient model in our study. GMM with stacking also performed exceptionally well with an accuracy of 0.972 and a low inference time of 0.41. So VGG16 and SVM, they showed similar accuracy levels, 0.937 and 0.935 respectively. But VGG16 had a notably longer inference time of 53.76 seconds, which made it less practical for real-time applications. The GMM model also initially performed poorly with an accuracy of 0.523, but after we integrated GMM with stacking and we used random forest and logistic regression, its performance was significantly improved with an accuracy of 0.972. Next, these are the references, which are the research papers that we referred to for our study, and we have also linked our dataset. So that was about our paper. Thank you.
Okay, so is there any question for presenter?
No, sir. Thank you. We can move to the next presentation, please. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We can move to the next presentation, please. We can move to the next presentation, please.
Yes, 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 yes. I will. Next, we have Vaishnavi Gosavi, and she's going to present on towards precision agriculture, machine learning based crop yield prediction in Maharashtra. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Yes, sir. So is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Vaishnavi Gosavi, and I am a third-year student at VIT Pune. So my paper title is Towards Precision Agriculture, Machine Learning-Based Crop Yield Prediction in Maharashtra. So Maharashtra is a agriculture state in India, and it faces major challenges in maintaining consistent crop production because due to scarce water supplies, unpredictable weather, and resource constraint significantly impact the region's agriculture. These issues not only threaten food security but also place a heavy financial burden on farmers, sometimes even leading to increased debt and a tragic rise in farmer suicides. Our project aims to address these challenges by using data-driven methods to accurately predict crop yields. We have combined economic, social, and weather data to provide a strong framework and improve agricultural output. We aim to help farmers make better decisions and support them in developing effective agricultural policies. So we have referred about 10 to 15 paper literature reviews, but these two have significantly helped us. So first paper title is An Assemble Approach for Coffee Crop Yield Prediction Based on Agroeconomic Factors. So this study looks at analyzing agronomic factors using data from Central Coffee Research Institute in Karnataka. The year ranges from 2008 to 19, and they have used it focuses on how soil and environmental conditions such as organic carbon, phosphorus, potassium, pH levels, and etc. impact the coffee production. And these researchers have analyzed about 15,000 instances records, and they use several machine learning algorithms such as decision tree classifier, extra tree classifier, and random forest. And their random forest have achieved highest accuracy of 90%. So the next paper title is Crop Yield Prediction using Random Forest Algorithm. So this study has taken into account different factors such as temperature, rainfall, humidity, and soil type to make accurate predictions early in the harvest seasons. And the authors also suggested creating a user-friendly web application for farmers to use this algorithm. So methodology, this is the data set that we have collected from ICT4SD, which is International Crops Research Institute for the Semi-Arid Tropics. And government data is also available on this site. So our research only focused on in Kharif season. So there are 23 Kharif crops which were available and in Maharashtra from the year range to 1966 to 2017. and like each crop, like each out of each 23 crops, there are like 3 columns for each of them, about specifying area, production, and yield. Then the second data set is about rainfall data set, and we have gathered like only Kharif season months, like from July, August, September, and October, about like 848 records. And in temperature, we have got a minimum and maximum temperature on these 4 months. And then we have transformed those data set into a single final data set here. In crop data set, there were like 3 columns, and then we iterated and transformed it into rows. As you can see, like rice area, production, and yield. Here were like 3 separate columns. And then in rainfall, we took sum of all those 4 months. So total rainfall of Kharif season, and then average temperature of Kharif season. And here you can see that we have missing value because all of the data set like crop and rainfall is till 2017. But in temperature, there is only data available till 2015. So we address the null values by using average of the temperature according to district, year, and crop. Then we also drop unnecessary columns such as district code, state name, and state code. And then we use one hot encoder to encode to district and crop. Then our data set is ready for exploration and model. This is our system architecture implementation. There are 3 types of data set we have took crop, temperature, and rainfall. We have collected those data set and then processed it. Then we split the data set into 2, training data set and testing data set. Training data set is about 75%, and testing data set is about 25%. And we have used 3 algorithms: linear regression, random forest, and decision tree. And then we compared the training data set prediction to actual values, and then compared the result of all these 3 algorithms. So our first algorithm is linear regression, and it is a type of supervised ML algorithm that computes linear relationship between a dependent variable and one or more independent variables. The independent variables in our data set were year, district, crop, area, production, total rainfall, and average temperature. And a dependent variable, which is what we are trying to predict, is crop yield. So by applying statistical technique of linear regression, we got this performance matrix: R-square score of 0.77, accuracy of 77.23%, and standard deviation of 3.42%. And as you can see, the visualization of the model, it's not very great or very accurate, as it does not even fall into the linear pattern, and actual values versus predicted values are kind of far. But so we have also applied a decision tree algorithm, and here we achieved R-square score of 0.98% and 0.898, and accuracy of 96.92%. And standard deviation is lesser compared to linear regression. And we can see in the visualization that actual versus predicted points fall in linear way, and we can also barely see the actual values because it is accurate and overlapping. Then in random forest, our metric score was R-square score of 0.89, accuracy of 98%, and standard deviation is the least among all of the algorithms, 0.62. And this also forms in a linear way, and it predicts great accuracy. So our result is in random forest, provided the most precise predictions. It excelled at handling complex patterns in our data, making it the top performer. Its assemble learning approach, where multiple decision trees are combined in random forest, helped capture integrate relations in our data. Then in decision tree, the model came second best. It showed robust performance, effectively identifying patterns and making reliable prediction. However, it was slightly less accurate than random forest. And also the simplicity of using a single tree, like decision tree, makes it too easy to interpret, and also can make the model overfit. And in linear regression, while this model is useful, it showed the lowest accuracy among the three. Linear regression is simpler and primarily captures linear relations. This simplicity, however, means it struggles with the non-linear relations present in our agriculture data, leading to less accurate predictions. And this is the comparison of three algorithms: R-square score, accuracy, and standard deviation. Linear regression had the most standard deviation, and random forest had the least. Thank you.
So is there any question for presenter?
No, sir. You can continue with the next presentation, please.
So next we have Vanishi Prabhalkar, and she's going to present on role of chatbots and virtual assistants in customer service for life insurance companies in India. Dear presenter, you may please start your presentation.
Yes, sir. Yeah, kindly confirm the screen is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah. So good afternoon, one and all. The topic for our presentation is analyzing the use of chatbots and virtual assistants in customer service for life insurance companies in India. I'm the primary author, Dr. Vanishri Pabalkar. Co-authors are Dr. Ruby Chanda and Ms. Pooja Nair. So when we talk about the introduction and the objective, chatbots and virtual assistants in customer service, these have increasingly been very, very popular in the recent times, as we've seen. These are the virtual assistants who give out all the information virtually. In life insurance industry, customer service plays a very, very vital role. And therefore, in this study, what we're trying to talk about is examine how chatbots and virtual assistants are used, their uses, their advantages, their merits, and what exactly are the demerits out there. So when we talk about chatbots adoption in the life insurance industry, these have been found to improve efficiency of customer service in this sector, and they handle the routine and complicated, queries out there where there is no interface of the human element as such. Life insurance firms are still in the early phases of using chatbots as such. So not many insurance companies we see that they are using chatbots as such. There are few who have penetrated into this. Integration with the current systems, interaction with the current systems, data security and privacy, training and support. These are some of the important elements that we talk about when we talk about the adoption of the chatbots in the life insurance industry. Theoretical foundation when we talk about in the insurance industry, insurance sector as such, there are many, many issues and customer related functions as such. And these are relating to the grievances, the complaints, the exchange or the claim which is not settled by the customer. There's a lot of grievance that the customer comes up with. And therefore, a single unifying theory for chatbots, several frameworks have been provided for their design and development, but there's no specific theory which has till date been developed as per the literature. So conceptual framework for ensuring chatbots, this focuses primarily on the plans, objectives, and the goals, and the commitments to ensure chatbot operates with a defined scope and, which meets the objectives or which handles all the queries of the customers as such. When we talk about the reference architecture, the framework outlines the components of chatbot, including user transfer, user interface, dialogue manager, knowledge base, etc. Applications, when we talk about of chatbots and virtual assistants, virtual assistant and chatbot, more or less the similar function is what they have in the life insurance industry. Top life insurance providers like ICT4SD or Tata AI, when we talk about Tata AI, AI Life, etc., are the ones who use this more and more. For example, ICICI Pro LIGO is an important AI-powered virtual assistant, which is having a primary role played out there, which is crucially handling all the customer queries as such, and which also gives you the calculation of your premium, how much premium should be paid for, which policy can you avail as per your requirements, the one which suits your budget and your requirements. So this actually, saves the human time to a very great extent, and this frees up the human element. So complex issues are solved out here. So here we've carried out an exploratory and a conclusive research approach. Data was collected with various methods like surveys, analysis, etc. Study of chatbots in life insurance has been found that chatbots significantly increase customer satisfaction, and human element is just not there, as I mentioned. Customers who interacted with chatbots reported high level of satisfaction. with the quality of service compared to the one who interacted with the human agent. So these studies come up with the findings that most of the respondents find that chatbot is reasonably convenient to use and happy with the service. There is certainly some room for improvement because you certainly have some FAQs which are fed in the system, and chatbots usually respond only to those. So a customer who comes up with a complaint which is slightly uncommon, chatbot or the virtual assistant might not be in a position to actually answer or address that. So that has to be taken care of. How do we do that? So on prompt basis, can we actually like ChatGPT does? Once you give a prompt manager assigned, you get the questions answered very quickly and rapidly. Though the concerned person may not answer it, but then at least your answer is aligning to the question at least. So that is not yet there in the chatbot or the virtual assistant. So this has advanced significantly and there is area for improvement, as I mentioned. Popular use cases are the ones that we refer to: policy info and inquiry. Customers may rapidly obtain information about the insurance policies like coverage, perks, premiums, policies, etc. Or premium calculation, which I mentioned, as per your policy, how much is the calculation that you pay annually or yearly or monthly. Or claims processing, once you have been hospitalized, let's say, or some emergency, and how do you settle the claim within 24 hours? How do you lodge the complaint? How do you get for the claim settlement process? That's really important. But then there are certain challenges like data and information management. Chatbots and virtual assistants require access for customer data and information, given the concerns for data privacy and protection. Integration with the existing systems has to be there, which can be really, really complex, and it has to be agile and flexible infrastructure that has to be provided. Training and maintenance is equally required because in order to maintain the effective and relevance for the customers, that particular training has to be embedded with. And this has to be having a significant investment in resources and time. Companies that we looked at for these examples are Max Life Insurance, HDFC, and ICICI Prudential. When we talk about Max Life, to provide better customer service is the goal, but then the outcome of the chatbot is that this provided personalized responses, reducing wait time to 90%. So in the traditional system, we are kept on hold and the customer executive is handling some other customers. So maximum times we do not get our queries responded. That does not happen here. HDFC, to streamline the claims process, they use chatbots and the virtual assistants. Therefore, 30% is the time that is saved and customer satisfaction and experience is improved to a very great extent. ICICI Prudential talks about overall customer satisfaction. Therefore, 25% of the customers are getting faster services through the chatbots, and there is no chance for error as such. Future trends, when we talk about, though this continues to evolve to a very great extent, there are many methods through which the updated technologies can be embedded out here, so that this is addressed at a very minute and a crucial level also. And there has to be more of transparency, regular audits, and much more clarity that has to be given to the customers when they're using chatbots, rather, because they're talking to virtual assistants. So is there any data that is getting leaked? Is there any data breach? Is there anything that is going to leak my information? That concern is always there on back of the mind for the customer. So these, when we talk about the conclusion part, chatbots and virtual assistants offer significant benefits in the life insurance sector, though it has not evolved to a very great extent in this domain, but this certainly increases efficiency. It is recommended that companies use this and the advanced the processes that they can use this NLP, machine learning, AI, which can get into the nitty-gritties to solve the problems through. And you can also integrate chatbots, voice recognition, machine learning, etc., to have a better and a much better customer experience overall in the life insurance sector. That's all is from my side. These are the set of references that we looked at. Thank you.
So is there any question from presenter?
No, sir. We can go for the next presentation.
All right. So next we have Sri presentation. Sri, you may please continue your presentation.
Sorry for the inconvenience. And the project contributions that we have in this project is that we created hybrid models by using different types of models, like in the further I would say about CNN and LSD. And one more thing is we have implemented two models, and the comparison is the main thing that we have done in this project. Next slide. Excuse me, next slide. Hello.
Yes, please.
Yeah, and this is the high-level decision that we opted. This is that the data collection that we have used Ravis data set, and after that the raw data is after done with the pre-processing, and we have divided the data into data frames. After that, we have split the data. It is 8:1:1, like 8% is training, 1% is testing, and 1% validation. And in training data set, we have to augment the data set because we need a it is limited data set. So we have augmented the data set. Again, the augmented data set is converted into well spectrograms and it is being given to the CNN models. And here we have like used two models, that is CNN model and simulation and CNN model transfer model. After that, we trained the model and we have tested and validated the model. And our results will be in the process of evaluation matrix loss, accuracy, and loss. Next slide. The two models that we have used as a discuss is patterns and test classification models are. The first one is listening with attention, and the second one is transform model. Generally, in speech emotion recognition, different deep learning models have been different approaches to analyze data. Traditional models like LSTM network have been popular because of their ability to handle sequential data. LSTM models process speech frame by frame, which allows them to capture the temporal data, but the data may be changed time to time. It's the particular we have to understand the progress of emotion and speech signals. In parallel CNN, we bidirectional LSTM attention model. Generally, it is bidirectional LSTM, as it is like you can take input in the both sides. So in this, actually we have designed the attention model, and it is a 4-layer deep two-layer network. The convolution takes the input, which with batch size, channel height, and width, and the MEL spectrogram is the input that we have given. And also, we have taken the MEL spectrogram's features. And then, however, can I take next slide? Hello. But however, LSTM have some limitations. Since they process the data sequentially, they may struggle to capture like long list dependencies. So may require a lot of computational resources to do. So additionally, LSTM, we have tried the other model, that is one is transform model. Unlike LSTM, which focus on the frame at the data, transform model analyze the entire input, such as MEL spectrogram at once and the other. In this research, actual transformer and encoder model is integrated for both temporal and spatial features, but to recognize them. By combining the strength of CNN and with our transformer and encoder model, we have effective analysis of this MEL spectrogram uses. Next. And in experimental setup, we have used Randis data. It is one of the common data set that we have used in like we got in Cargill. It have 24 actors of different genders, like 12 female and 12 male. Each like it have 8 distinct emotions like neutral, calm, happy, sad, angry, fearful, disgusted, and surprised. Actually, we took this data set is because it have mainly both male and female voices. Like when we want to get the emotions from speech, it is like we have to note both the differences on the voices. So mainly we utilize this to focus on the vocalized expressions of the data set. Next. And we have what type of experiments we have done two algorithms, which as I have said, two CNN parallel algorithms, and also we have done the augmentation to increase the training samples. Next. And regarding the data information, I already said we have used Ravis data set. Actually, it have 1440 speech references from the data set, and we have split it into 8:1:1. Actually, first of all, we have thought to do it training and testing, but afterward, if we add a validation, we can get the more accuracy in that. So we have split it in the data is 8:1:1. Next slide. And these are some of the graphs that we got. What are the emotions and how many emotions are there, and the male and female categories. And then one more thing is here we have based on intensity, we have divided like the voice, pitch, like normal, strong, like that we have generated, we have done. Next. Basically data documentation nothing, but if we see one of the main challenges that we faced in this project is that limited training data sets. If we want to try, it is in real time. If you want to try real time, we need more training set. So one of the technique is the data augmentation. That the it is like we will be adding extra one. Here we have used AWGM. It's a version because noise vector is added so that by normalizing the distribution, you can map to the zero mean. That is the reason we have added the data implementation in this for the training data. We can see here before augmentation, after augmentation, the training data sets are increased. Like before it is like 1,000, like it is 143 and all, but afterwards, so it is like 3,441. Next slide. These are the MELT spectrogram. I have CNN. It basically takes a picture and as the input. So representing the spectrograms, which describes the time frequency distribution of the speed signal as a grayscale image. Here you can see it as a grayscale image. By doing that, temporal features are mapped to width and the frequencies to the height of the image. That is the reason we have to convert into the MELT spectrogram so that CNN can take it. We are using CNN here. So, next slide. This is a training model one. It is L by LSTM. Here we can see that we used like 499 efforts, so that we can see that accuracy will be keep on increasing and loss is decreasing in each effort. Like every time it will go and run. Efforts are nothing but the number of times that is running. Training model is running. We can see here. Next. This is the confusion matrix. You can see in confusion matrix, the diagonally are like if 15 are the surprise, they can match it. This is the LST with attention one, and the diagonal with the correct values. And there are some errors in it because as the speech is not a simple thing, we have to do more in that. We will be trying in the future experiments. This is the confusion matrix of the first model. It is LST with attention. And it is a plot loss, which is LSTM with attention. That we have got it. We have been like with loss. If loss is less, then and the accuracy is more, we can select that product like that model. Next. This is like same as the training model one. We have done it in training model 2, and here also we can see that the accuracy is increasing and loss is decreasing. It is the confusion matrix of the transformer model, but if we compare the confusion matrix of LSTM, it is more accurate than the transformer model for this particular data set. Yes. Can you change? This is the plot loss and the train loss. The board. Yeah. Can you move to the next slide? Yeah, that these are the two findings. One is that it is a time sequence models. So LSTM is good for the time sequence models in the Rados dataset. Last. Yeah, the conclusion is that we are using hybrid models to increase the accuracy. One of the model is just mixing the qualities of both models, and the limitation is that it is a bit difficult to identify the category like particularly, and the further scope is like we want to try it in the real time. That's thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Can we have the next paper, please?
So we have completed all presentations of the session.
That's fine.
Okay, so moving forward for the next, moving forward to closing remarks. I sincerely thank our authors for their excellent presentations and contribution in this session, and all of our participants for being a part of this international conference. I hope this session was informative enough for all of you. We, on behalf of thank you for your support during this version and all the previous 8th version of the conference. And we will be happy to have you all in the 10th version of this conference in 2025 in Goa. All the presenters will be getting their digital certificates through email within 2 working days. Moreover, all the papers have already forwarded to the stranger. The publication will be live within 6 months, so kindly cooperate with the team ICT4SD 2024 and Global Knowledge Research Foundation. Okay, I also thank our session chair for being the chair of this session, and on behalf of the Global Knowledge Research Foundation and ICT4SD 2024. Sir, there is a one token of appreciation to be a chair on behalf of Global team. And I sincerely thank you for your presence over here.
Thank you for the same. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so at the end, I request you all to turn on your camera so we can capture the good memories of this virtual conference. Okay, thank you all. Thank you, sir, for your presence.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, us, for the wonderful hosting. Thank you.
Thank you.